what if there is a company named VetCare who has multiple clinics across India? Now they actually want to get top three clinics with like who has actually generated the highest revenue. Now it could be a lifetime revenue or the revenue made previous month. So let's find out how I would solve. Firstly, I would get the name of the table that are present in that particular database, and this is the exact same code. If I run it, here I have got the names of all the 7 tables that are involved in this particular question or in this particular scenario. Then I would like check what is actually present in all those particular tables. For example, if we want to generate a revenue, like the highest revenue and clinics that have generated the highest revenue, first thing is I am not at all going to think about the code. I won't think like what lines of code should I write. In my case, I will specifically look into what kind of tables do I actually. For example, if we want to get the clinics with highest revenue, then what is the first thing that is required? That is the clinics. So I think the table that is going to be involved. So clinics is one of the table that is definitely included in this particular. But before solving this question, the first thing that actually comes into my mind is that how I can actually solve this problem. Not based on the questions, like not based on the query that I need to write, but I need to think like what exactly is needed and how can I get to that particular position or the destination or the code. Now this is how I would think. Again, this could change, like the positions of these steps could change with respect to the question and with respect to the demand of the question that is actually required. But this is a basic idea how I would think. For example, as I mentioned, if we want clinics, then obviously we need to look into the clinic. What all tables are actually required in order to get our answer. First of all, clinics, and second of all is revenue. So I believe that the revenue could be there in sales table. Let's find out if it is actually there. Total price. Yeah, total price is the actual revenue. Do we have anything else in other tables? Anything related to the revenue? Yes, we have price, but this is not the revenue generated. This is just the price of a particular service or a product, as we can see it here. This is the item type, this is a product, and the item name is shampoo. Okay, so the tables might be included so far is one is clinics and second is sales table. Okay, so I will just write it down. Clinics, sales. Do we have any other thing? Okay, so here's the question. Find the top 3 clinics that generated the highest total revenue. Okay, for revenue we are getting sales. For clinics we are getting the table clinics. This here is a typo. Okay, so these two are enough for now. Now what is the next step? Find what what are we supposed to print? What is the expected output in our scenario? So it is nothing but the clinics, and I will just rank them. I'll also include the revenue. Okay, yeah, it is also mentioned here. So we also have to get the revenue as well. So let's start with the code. Although you can also have a look at this other step as well, like what actually needs to be solved, how can I solve it. So firstly, I am just writing things that these are the things that is actually required in my output, and we need top 3 cities, right? Now how can we actually link the table? Let's find that out. Here is the clinic ID. That is the only ID we have. And in sales we have sales ID, appointment ID, item ID, and quantity. Quantity is not a primary key in this table. Like in clinics, the clinic ID is the primary key, and in sales, do we have any clinic ID? No, we do not have any clinic ID. So we might have to connect it to another table that can act as a bridge between the clinic table and the sales table. So doctors, I don't think doctors might have anything that we need. Yeah, as I said, oh, we have the clinic ID and we have the doctor ID, and in the clinics we have the clinic ID, but unfortunately in the sales table we do not have any doctor ID. Am I right? Yeah, we do not have any doctor ID, so we cannot use this table. And item catalog, I don't think either. Yes, it does not have the clinic ID, so it obviously cannot act as a mediator. Appointments, I think it might be here. It might be there in the appointments table. Doctor ID, yeah, we have the clinic ID, so we can connect it with the clinics table. And for appointment ID, pet ID, doctor ID. I think for sales we have the. Do we have the pet ID here? No, we do not have the pet ID. Pet ID and the appointment ID. So I can add the pet ID here. So okay. So in my case, I'll be using 4 tables. These are the 2 tables that we need, and to act as a bridge, we are adding 2 different tables. That is appointments and the pets table. So firstly, we need top 3 clinics: clinic ID and clinic. So these are the 2 things that I'm going to print right now: the clinic ID and the clinic name. There is the clinic ID, C dot clinic ID and C dot name. Now where do we need it from? We want it from clinics. See, this is the alias that I have used, and we have got this thing. Okay, do we need any other thing? We also need sales, right? Total revenue. So what was the name of the column? The total price. So I'm going to name it as T, not T, S, because I have got it from the table sales. S dot total revenue as total price, it is as total revenue from clinics join. I'm just going to join it. I'm not using any left join right now. Like I can actually use the left join here just because I want the clinic IDs, so I can use it, but I'm not using it right now. Now the next thing that is required is I want to join it from sales. I cannot directly join it from a clinics to sales, so I'm using the table named pets. Is clinic ID there? No, appointments. I'm using the table appointments. That is my mistake, because we have the clinic ID there. So we join on. Now we are connecting it based on the keys that are common in both the tables. C dot clinic ID is equals to A dot clinic ID. See here we can this might create an error because obviously this is not actually we haven't extracted it from the table. We haven't got the table yet, and now I will join it with another table named pets. I cannot join it directly from sales because I do not have any sale ID or anything that is there in the table appointments or clinics. So I'll be joining it with pets. Let's be on. Now let's see how can we join it. We have pet ID and owner ID, and in the appointments table we do have the pet ID. So on A dot pet ID is equals to P dot pet ID. Got it? So this is the case, and now I'm going to join it again on the final table, that is the sales table. Okay, I'm going to use the alias as s. On, we have the pet id here, right? Okay, so I made a mistake. We do not need three tables. Yes, I was thinking that why do we actually need the table? Yes, so we do not need the three tables. We do not need the fourth table. We can do it based on the third table only, because we have the appointment ID in the sales table. I do not know like how did I miss it, but I missed it. So it happens a lot of times. Uh, okay, so I will not link it with the table pets. I'll directly link the appointments table with the sales table. Sales s on, we'll just remove this on, and now what I'll do is on appointment id, a dot id is equals to s dot. Okay, so we have mentioned the appointment id as well. So yes, we have got the total revenue, but again it is not in the order, and we can simply do it by group by, we can group it by c dot clinic id and c dot clinic name. Okay, and after that we can order it by this question is not actually correct, and I'll share the reason as well. Order by uh, total. Okay, okay, so why is it actually not printing? Now let's have a look at it. Column s dot total price must appear in the group by, which is this. Okay, this is the main thing, and if we do it, okay, uh, we can also mention it as that. Okay, so this is the thing. We can also limit by 5, yeah, or 3. Okay, but these are the top 3 uh, stores that have generated the highest amount of revenue. Now there is one more interesting thing that we can do here. Suppose we do not want it based on the clinics, we want it based on a city. Like if a clinic is having multiple clinics in particular city, then what? Then what can we actually do? We won't do. Actually the approach is going to change a lot, because in that particular case we would like to group it by every individual city. Like we want the top 3. For example, if our output required output is that we want uh, top 3 clinics in each and every city, and then we want to check the revenue, that what is the revenue generated by it. The result is going to be changed by a lot of things, because in that particular scenario we cannot use group by. Now why we cannot use group by? Because we will be using a window function, because we want like for one city we want the top 3 or whatever the number is, we want the top n number of clinics. And I can also do the same thing. We will do the same thing again here as well. Or should we? Okay, let's do it anyway. If I said it, let's do it. Okay, so this is the thing. Now from clinics, and we can also join it by appointments. But before that, we also would need to add one more thing. That is not the total price. We want sum. Oh man. Okay, so we would like to have the sum as dot clinics, and now we are going to select another thing, and that is, for in my case I'm using rank, so we need n number of, for example we need three top three clinics or top two clinics in every city. Then this is how we solve this question. We will use rank function, that is a window function, over, do we need any partition? Yes, we do need partition, and we need the partition based on the cities, as I mentioned before. Here is the city column, so we will also uh, no, here is the thing, c dot city, we'll partition it by, and do we need it or any order of it? Yes, again we do need the order, and we'll order it by the total revenue. Now in these type of question, one thing that I specifically focus on, I haven't mentioned it here and I should mention it because that is again one of the most important things, is the order of execution. This is also an important thing that we need, that actually needs to be considered. For example, if I write anything in select, that like if I use an alias that is not there in select but it is there in where clause, so it will create an error, because due to the order of execution, where clause is executed before the select clause. I'll also mention the order of execution, like it's from, where, group by, having clause, and then select. Okay, so as we can see, firstly the from clause will execute and then where, so we need to consider this. We cannot use alias there. Like, I think I made a clear point here. Okay, so I was getting the rank as, I'm just going to give it the name as rank, and now everything could be same. Join appointments A, from see. Okay, now let's see. Okay, if it is actually going to work. See, this isn't working. Why isn't it actually working? Because we haven't added this thing. It is not there. As I mentioned, the order of execution is super important. This is how we actually going to write it. Now is it actually going to work? Let's find that out. No, and this time the error is c.clinic id must appear in the group by. Oh, I haven't used the group by here. Okay, so we do not need to add the total price right now because we have used the sum function here. As we can see, here it is, but we haven't got it based on the rank on the city, right? I'll show one more thing. Now we need to add it, the entire code in the subquery, and here, from here we will be writing the where clause. Now the reason I didn't write this particular clause in this particular, like in this particular section, is pretty simple, and the reason behind it is the order of execution. As I mentioned, I think I have deleted that, but the where clause is executed first and then the select clause is executed. So if I write, if I write here, like, actually it comes before group by, where comes before group by, so we need to like consider this as well. If I write where rank, and this is the rank, okay, rank is greater or less than equals to 3, so it won't be executed just because of the order of execution. Now let's find out where rank is equals to. Okay, I'll just copy paste now. Should it actually work? No. Oh, I made a silly mistake here. Now, yes, here it is. Okay, so as we can see, the reason behind this is pretty obvious, because we just have one city in each column, in each row. Okay, we do not have more than one city. For example, we have one Ahmedabad, one Bangalore. If we had more than one cities, then it would have worked fine. And the reason why the Pune is coming at the bottom is because we have, ordered it by the sum of the rank. Like this is the case. We can also do it by group by, or the order by, based on the total revenue, or based on the cities. For example, if I order it by order by, or if I use the order by here, let's use it here. Okay, I'll show this thing and then I'll talk about it. Okay, so we have used the order by here, and now it is ordered based on the clinic ID, and we can also use clinic name. So this is the reason. Yeah, now as we can see, it is at the bottom. So this was the reason, because this is how it actually ordered it, and that is the reason it came. Well, so if again concluding it, if we had more than one clinic in a particular city, then it would have given us the highest value, like the top 3 values for that particular city, this particular code. So this was it about this question. I will. So this is how we actually get the highest revenue, or the clinics who have generated the highest revenue, or the top n number of clinics who have actually generated the highest revenue. And first part is that, and second part is that we like this particular code tells us about the highest revenue generated by each city. Like we have also used the n number of city, like n number of clinics that we want to add. In our case, we have used number 3, that we want top 3 clinics in each city. This is what we are getting from this particular code. Oh, it was a cumbersome task.